Now, some things make the news because they're big events, big happenings, lots of planning goes into it. Some things make the news because somebody has an iPhone and happens to film something and it goes viral on the internet. And occasionally things like that involve people of importance, like former Prime Ministers, Mike.
Yes, and it was wonderful to see at the test today that Bob Hawke, famous reformed drinker and I suppose in some respects teetotaler these days, was tempted to celebrate at the urging of some cricket fans, and it's a great shot, and I'll let him tell us how it came about and what it's all about, and we've got him on the line.
Yes, Glen Brandon was the guy who handed the former Prime Minister a beer today, and he joins us. G'day, Glen.
G'day guys, how you going?
Not too bad. You're going to be instantly famous for a short time.
Oh, too funny, is it? Before you go on, it wasn't actually today, it was on day 2.
Oh, it was it? Okay.
It just took me a day or so
To get it up, yeah.
to get it onto YouTube, yeah.
Did you know he was going to drink the whole, what was it, a schooner, was it?
Oh, it's just one of the plastic cup they serve at the cricket, there's one size fits all. But, of course he's going to drink it, it's Bob Hawke.
But did you know he was going to drink all of it?
Oh, of course he's going to have it. Well, I don't know, you just hand it over and hope that, I don't know what we were thinking. You have a beer, mate.
It's great.
And the yelling out of "one for the country," was that you?
Yeah, that was me and me mate. That was me and one of my mates next to me. Yep. Because it's on my phone, I was right there at the front. So probably the loudest.
Now, if you play your cards right, you could probably end up being picked as the first contestant for Channel 9's version of Big Brother this year, off the back of something like this.
I'll steer clear of that. I'll steer clear of that. But, just have a laugh when the boys at the cricket. I think
I love it, Glenn, because it's so irreverent. And the thing that I also love about it was he didn't hesitate, did he? He went, wow! He took your hand with it when he took the.
He just had a big grin on his face. And, it was hilarious. It was great. I missed it all on the news and stuff. We're playing cricket this afternoon.
They'll be able to get a copy to you. Or all the bulletins will be up on YouTube eventually as well. That's bound to come up and be. I would dare say it'll be replayed around the world on the quirky news moments sections of news programs.
Mate, who's the chubby fellow in the background of the video, he just, when I come home from cricket, he said it was on the Times of England or the Telegraph of England website.
Oh, there it is too. They jump at it. I wonder, I think he actually has a drink these days. I don't think he's been on the wagon, but if he has, you've got him off the wagon well and truly.
Oh, he's closer to the end than he is to the beginning, so he should enjoy a drink while he's at the cricket.
That's a valid point. I've heard actually that former Prime Minister following him, Paul Keating, was most upset because Bob had promised to drink most of the beer and then hand it to Paul at the end.
Were you behind the barrier? It looks like you're actually taking it. You're on the ground, but were you actually behind the barrier?
No. We were just in the stand, and they walked down he walked, because we're in Bay 13, about 20 rows from the fence probably, and he walked down with a heap of security and stuff, and Blanche was there behind him as he was going down, so I grabbed Blanche, come and get a photo, Blanche, as Bob kept walking down, we just thought it was hilarious. And then Bob come back, and then that's when we gave him the beer. So I was right in the aisle seat,
I love the fact, and it says something about this fabulous country we live in, where the former Prime Minister can attend a sporting event like that and actually be accessible to the public. Try handing a beer next time he's in town to Barack Obama and see how far you get, Glenn.
Or Bill Clinton. I mean, the Secret Service would have your guts for garden, so to speak. Yeah. But that's great, Glenn, and congratulations, and I hope the clip goes viral, and hope to see you on Big Brother.
None of this Big Brother stuff, but that's too funny. The video is hilarious.
It is funny.
And Glenn, when they make the movie about you in this moment, they did a movie about Far Lap and a movie about the Cup, when they make a movie about this, who should play you?
Oh, look, it probably won't be that far away, so I'll have to play myself.
But we look forward to seeing it. Good on you, Glenn. Thanks for sharing some time with us.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Glen. Glen Brandon, who now famously handed the former Prime Minister, well known for his temperate behaviour for quite a few years, a big plastic mug of beer which he downed in one gulp.
You know, this opens up an entire discussion on politics, which is not really what we tend to do much on Nightline. But there is something about that is probably a little bit wrong, because there will be people who say, oh, it encourages young people to drink and all that sort of thing. I love the fact that it shows Bob Hawke to be human. Because so much in politics now, they're taught what to say, how to stand. It's all about image and what politicians are told to say and the way they're supposed to relay their information. And it all just seems so false that I think that's why most people loathe politicians. So I actually take great enjoyment in today's event just for seeing a Prime Minister, or former Prime Minister, behaving normally.
Well, he was renowned for it anyway, wasn't he? As ACTU head and as politician and then Prime Minister, because he, when the America's Cup was won, he said anyone that doesn't give people a day off today is a bum. Yeah. As he was covered in champagne, being sprayed at him, he'd quite often be overcome with emotion. He'd tear up and show his emotions, which I think's pretty good.
Well, I think that's missing. And during the Queensland floods, the Queensland Premier, Keneally, Anna Bligh, who am I thinking of? Anna Bligh got quite emotional during her press conferences, and her government was, everyone loathed her in Queensland before the floods. But while that was going on, she was human. She expressed emotion, and people loved her for it. And yet, at the same time, no offence to the Prime Minister, but Prime Minister Julia Gillard was beside her. When she spoke, it was the same robotic sort of thing that the Prime Minister does, and there wasn't the emotion in there, and she sort of didn't grab my attention during the floods. I love seeing politicians being human.
Well, some people can do that and some people can't. I mean, it's a skill that some people have either, it's like entertainment, you've either got it or you haven't, and you can come across as a human being or you come across as a stiff person. I find it difficult to be critical of people because, some people are much better at acting it out than actually feeling it. I mean, some people are try to put a lot of effort into convincing you that they're a really good person without actually being a good person. I'm not singling anyone out here, but I just feel that sometimes how people behave is not necessarily what they really do feel. So I find it difficult to be critical of Julia Gillard. I don't think it's not her style to be that emotional, although she did tear up, I remember, in Parliament when she was talking over, I think it was something to do with the floods, but she did get a bit emotional. But it's I'd tear up all the time. I'd burst into tears when I'm happy.
Yes, I'm the same. I've told the story before, but Ernie Sigley, many years ago when I was producing his show, Ernie happened to mention on air once that every Christmas Day he looks around at his family and then he'll go off quietly by himself and have a cry when he thinks about how lucky he is. And I hate him for saying that, because now every Christmas Day I think of what Ernie said, I look around at my family and I go off and do the same and tear up on Christmas Day. And it's a joyous thing and it's a lovely thing, but I hate him for saying it because I never thought to do it before.
I usually tear up when my brother gives me the annual pair of socks that he gives me. I tear up with rage.
Oh, they're those ones I heard in the promo that don't smell. I've never met the Prime Minister, but I have been at functions, opening nights and things where she was in attendance before she became Prime Minister, and witnessing her just interacting with people when she was a politician, but just not the centre of attention, just one of many celebrities at an opening night. I've watched her interacting with people, and she was just lovely, just divine.
She's not a dominant person that wants to dominate the scene. It's not her nature.
So I find it quite sad that when I see her as Prime Minister up making speeches that she doesn't have that warmth that I know I've seen. So that's
so have I.
me anyway.
So have I.